Hello, everybody. I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and tonight is the second show in the series of Publisher versus Player. We did this once before, and we just didn't know what to call it back then. I didn't even know it was going to be a series, but it worked out really good. It was our auction house versus vendor question from an unnamed publisher, which I can't wait to tell you guys who that publisher is and what game that they're working on. Nah, I won't even give you any hints. So, anyway, tonight we are talking about Lord British, also known as Richard Garriott in real life, his new game that he's got coming out called Ultimate RPG. I gotta be really careful when I say that because, you know, he is, of course, the creator of Ultima Online. And so I keep, every time I spell out the word ultimate, I leave the T and E off of it. It's just habit. It's so funny. So, anyway, we are taking feedback from you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go and click the link in the description to go to our Twitch channel and subscribe to me there so that you'll be alerted when we're broadcasting live and you too can give your feedback. Now, that doesn't have to stop you from giving your feedback because you can also leave comments in the YouTube channel and we will make sure that Richard and his crew sees them. So, okay. Now, the first question tonight. Now, Ultimate RPG, if you haven't heard, you can go to Facebook right now, and you can go into it's facebook.com/Ultimate RPG. And you will find the fan page there, and become a fan, like it, and follow it. So, basically, for those of you who don't know, okay, so my roots began in Ultima Online. And Ultima Online was the first massive multiplayer game that I played. It was also the first mainstream massive multiplayer game that was ever released. I played several of the previous Ultimas, and I have been so looking forward to Lord British walking the streets of Britannia again. Now, he's said several times that he would, but, you know, there's a bit of history behind that, how he owned Origin Systems, and then he sold the company and all the license, all the rights to Ultima Online to Electronic Arts. And then, you know, a whole bunch of time passed, other things happened, blah, blah, blah. And he has not regained, let's say, the IP to that, but himself and the way he is, the way he makes games, he is looking to produce another Ultima-esque game, but at the same time, it'll have the feel of the Ultimas, but it won't be the Ultimas, if you get what I mean. So, he has a few questions. He has two questions that he's posted to the public, and they're actually both posted on his Facebook page at the Ultimate RPG page right now. And they are two questions that we'll be going over tonight, and then we've got a third. And if you're watching this on YouTube, each one will be an episode. The third will be one that I am throwing in, one that I'm very passionate about, and I want to make sure that we all get our 2 cents worth in on it. So, okay, so the first question here is about, let's see here, it's about offline play. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so Richard wrote the following. He says, I play most of my own hours of gaming on mobile devices as well as PCs now. Most of the time I am online, but when I'm traveling I am often not able to be online. Yeah, I was just on a plane, and because that's, you know, what I was doing the last couple of weeks. I was out visiting family, and I have my tablet here, which I have a whole bunch of games I installed on it, and I ran into some of the games that required an internet connection, even though I saw no reason for the game to, you know, have an internet connection. So anyway, I ran into that. So that's what he's talking about here. He wants to be able to play the real game offline, and he wants to have something like proving quests or whatnot that are available offline, so that a solo player can have some of the adventures that he can download for while he's offline, but it would be as if he were online. And so, now this is a very interesting question, because the fact is that has there ever been an online MMO that has had offline content other than like a character creator? And so basically, what is it that you can do? Okay, so this is a very good point. Zergbong says that offline equals open to hackers. And now, hasn't Diablo 3 had that, or Diablo, maybe not Diablo 3, but I know Diablo in the past has had that issue. Okay, so Battle Vortex says Neverwinter Nights. And Neverwinter Nights, I do remember that. I never played that, but that was both on and offline. How did that work out, though, BV, for whether or not the client was being hacked and stuff, or maybe it didn't matter? And that game wasn't massive, if I remember right. It was hosted. It was almost like hosted instances. Yeah, you're not running the game for anyone but yourself. So I think to myself, okay, so what is offline content that I would really enjoy playing? And I've seen character creators, and I have seen, some other stuff that would be like maybe inventory management, and auction management. Now, the auction stuff a lot of times did have an internet connection, but we were able to do it on mobile devices. And so, yeah, and so let's see. Burn Like Ice, he says here, why not have the option to use your online character in an offline mode, but offline progress doesn't carry to online? That is interesting. Maybe the problem is that who wants to do that? Do I want to actually, have my character doing things in the game where I don't get that progress added to my character overall? I suppose that, maybe there could be some offline quests that could give you, say, badges or something, an item of some items that don't actually give you a competitive advantage in the game, but maybe make you look dressed better. So, basically, I don't know. I actually don't like the idea. I just have to say that it is not something that I feel like I would participate in, other than maybe some sort of stats. How? Do you guys remember how in Ultima Online, you had so much skill that you could apply to your character, and you would. I can't remember what the exact number was. Maybe 700 skill points, and you could have a maximum of 100 skill points in any one area, or was it 500? I don't recall, but exactly how many it was. But you could. I remember being Grandmaster in at least 3 things at the same time, and with those skill points, you could then work on your character in different ways, and it was just like taking the different paths. So 700 a 7xGM, Gen X, thank you. And I was just a lame 3x GM. What can I say? So basically, if I had something offline that I could, work at readjusting those, just to see how that would affect my gameplay, so that I could see how it affect my sword play, or using my axe, or being a lumberjack, or and really, when you think about it, in games nowadays, it was much simpler in Ultima Online, but in games nowadays, if I'm a lumberjack and I really know how to swing an axe, I would think that that would add something to knowing how to swing an axe in, in battle. I mean, honestly. So, did you guys? Well, maybe. Gosh, I don't know if that video is shown yet or not. But by the time this one does, it's a video where I was at a friend's house, and he's a collector of medieval arms and armor, or not just medieval, but old stuff. And so he had this axe. It's a battle axe, and it has this weight on it that it weighs probably about, the head weighs probably about 3 or 4 pounds, and then it's about another pound for the handle. And I remember holding that. It was that axe actually felt like a real axe that I'd used to chop wood, and but yet it was 400 or 500 years old. And so if I were a lumberjack, I could totally see that. And so that skill should count towards that. And so what I'm getting back to is that I want to be able to adjust my skills offline just to see what kind of effects I could have to tweak my character so that I know what goals to work towards in my online play. And I think that that might be a good that might be a good use of offline that wouldn't interfere with gameplay, but you would have to have some sort of sync up that would happen while you do have an internet connection. So anyway, let's see if you guys have any more suggestions here. What are your thoughts? So come on, guys. Now, do you have any thoughts beyond what I'm saying here? Because it's not just my input into the game, it's yours as well. So, okay, offline has different story. You progress with your offline character, and when it comes to online, it's more about playing with the community, events, PvP, etc. And that's Akuma 2009. Let's see here. You want to be able to dye your shoes and cloak bright green. Actually, that is not a bad idea. And that's Zatkins, or Zakins. Actually, I know you're just joking here, or at least it appears that way. But when you think about it, that is something that wouldn't affect gameplay. But I could still be like a clothing designer. In Ultima Online, there was the tailor. And the tailor was able to make all kinds of combinations of clothing and then dye them different colors. And so what if you could do clothing design offline? That could be its own little game in itself, when you think about it. So I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so you could do some functions offline, maybe queue things up to happen for when you get online. I agree. Battle Vortex, I think that's a good idea. Let's see, 10% is gained and transferred to online mode when you're playing offline, and that's Stioff saying that. An offline-based community, the I don't know what that word is. Could be soloers. They could be solo-based games and co-op or multiplayer, and then have that team-based. There could be quests that you have to do to complete an in-game quest. You have something offline that you could have to do. Let's see, that would bring more women into the game. That's Micro Wizard 1. And I'm sure you're talking about the tailoring. There was a lot of, oh gosh, I wish that I had some screenshots of this. Do you guys remember when the first person made a fish tank in Ultima Online? Do you guys remember that? That was amazing. They did all kinds of different colored stacks of cloth and everything, and they put a whole bunch of stuff together, and then they went and caught fish, and they put them in their tank, and it was amazing. So, there'd be design like that that could be applied. So pattern making Now, this pattern making could be applied not only to, say, clothing, but it could be, put together for use for house decoration. And in fact, that's another idea. So, and we're going to talk about this one in a future episode. We're going to talk about player housing. And because that is one of the commitments that Richard Garriott, or Lord British, has made about the game. And so, anyway, the gist of this is that there actually is a whole lot of stuff, and I really like your guys' ideas. We could take that even further. So we're talking about like the battle axe stuff and the lumberjack. Well, what about the armorer, or the guy who, I don't know how detailed the visuals of the game are going to be, but in armor, sometimes there's a lot of scroll work in it, and its designs and everything. I have another video that that I shot at my friend's place, to where I have a flail, and this flail is about 500 years old, and the ball on it is I say about 3 pounds, and it has a engraved lion head on several sides of it, and a whole bunch of nice artwork on it. Now, if there could be something like that, where you can design these things offline and then apply them in the game, I think that would really work out well. And that could go for all kinds of weapons, that could go for armor, it could even go for housing tiles and everything. So, okay, so anyway, I think that we have a lot of suggestions here. For those of you who want to get your word in, go ahead and reply when this is up as a YouTube video, and or if you're watching this on YouTube, give us your best ideas. Reply to them, reply to the video, and I'm going to send this directly to Garriott and his staff, and they will take a look at it. So anyway, thank you everyone. For those of you who are watching this live, there is going to be another episode, so don't go anywhere. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, please subscribe so that you will see the next episode. You'll know when it comes out. So, I thank you everybody, and I really appreciate your participation. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.